Welcome, everyone, to the University of Puget Sound here in beautiful Tacoma, Washington. It's time for Goldpanners Baseball right here on your home for Goldpanners Baseball, Panner Vision on the YouTube page. Thank you all so much for joining us all summer long. Appreciate all of our viewers out there. Garrow Von Dane live here as the Goldpanners get set to take on the Seattle Cheney Studs, the Seattle Studs from right here in Tacoma, Washington. And the Goldpanners meeting up for the third time this season. They met once at the Grand Forks International. And then again a couple of days ago, or 3 days ago, Goldpanners defeating the Studs 7-3 here at UPS Field after the Studs got the victory in Grand Forks. So game 3 between these two. They'll meet once more on Sunday at 1 p.m. on Getaway Day before we head back north to the gold in the heart of Alaska. Goldpanners falling in not the prettiest game yesterday for Fairbanks. They are hoping to erase those memories here today. Panners had a 3-0 lead, only to see that evaporate and turn into a 13-5 loss at the hands of the Everett Merchants. Pitching problems continuing to plague this Goldpanner team and defensive miscues. So they turn to one of their more consistent arms today, number 16, Nolan Meredith. Meredith gets the ball for Fairbanks, the 5'10 right-handed junior from UC Davis. Meredith takes the mound for the Goldpanners. He will go against Bryce Foster for the Seattle Studs. Panners and Studs. And Meredith deals the first pitch for a strike. Comes exactly at 5:30 p.m. here in sunny, warm Tacoma. Weather's been gorgeous down here for most of our stay. And Meredith deals another strike. 0-2 to the leadoff spot, Makane Morishige. Morishige batting .273 on the year. And leading off for these Seattle Studs. And this one's fought off the fists, a little flare and a shallow left. Going back is Shomao, or rather Munoz to make the catch. Apologies. And Morishiga's out number 1. He'll be followed by Peyton Smith and Chris Schuchart. Kyle Rodriguez batting in the cleanup spot. Braden Terry 5th. And Nate De La Cruz in the 6th hole. And 7-8-9 for the Studs. Ethan Rhodes, Will DeForest, and Zaya Eckles. Nolan Meredith on the hill, 1 up and 1 down here in the first inning. Panner pitchers in recent games have fallen victim to the base on balls again, and that has been spreading like flu. Panner pitchers walked 9 more batters in yesterday's game, also hit 2 batters, and another 4-error game. That's how you lose 13-5. Peyton Smith swings and fouls this one back. Meredith working quickly here. He's in front 0-2. Goldpanners in their black tops with the Alaska snow-capped letters across the front. And the red cap with the star and 49. This one is chopped right side, but it's a foul ball. Panners start today 14 wins, 9 losses, and 1 tie. The Goldpanners, after an 11-1-1 start, are now just 3-8 over their past 11. The right-hander Meredith readies with another 0-2 offering to Peyton Smith. And this one's fouled off the mask of catcher Isaac Shook. Defensively for the Goldpanners, Cole Alexander at first base, Caleb Milliken at second, Marty Munoz, the shortstop. Tate Shomao is at third base. The outfield, Brock Rudy in left, Brock Klez in center, and Sean Rimmer is in right. That one is outside for a ball, 1-2. Meredith started with a couple of strikes on Smith. He fouled off a few pitches. Now takes ball 1. There is 1 out after Morishige popped up to short. Checked his swing on a pitch just high. It's 2-2. That one is popped up and should be playable. The third baseman, Shamau, shielding his eyes from the sun, a step inside the line and has to make a difficult catch. He reached that glove out at the last instant. He's got sunglasses on his cap, but they weren't over his eyes. Still able to make the catch. And 2 away here in the first inning brings up Chris Schuchart. Goldpanners got a good start from Corey Braun yesterday. He was scoreless through 4, but then in the 5th inning ran into problems. He got the first out of the 5th. And then a couple of walks, a throwing error on a pickoff play, a single, a walk with the bases loaded, and that was it for Braun. Wound up going 4 2/3, 3 runs, but just 1 charge to him on only 2 base hits, but the 5 walks doomed his start. Curveball in for strike 3. K's Schuchart. Good pitch from Meredith, and he goes 1-2-3 here in the first. Panners coming to bat. Goldpanners come to bat here in the bottom of the first inning. Garrow Von Dane live here in sunny, warm Tacoma, Washington at the University of Puget Sound here, the natural grass surface. They cut the grass between our game yesterday and today, so grass a little bit shorter. No score here in the bottom of the first. Nolan Meredith goes 1-2-3 in the top of the first. A couple of pop-ups and a strikeout, and now Brock Kless leads off for Fairbanks. Kless, then Brock Rudy, and Sean Rimmer. Top 3 in the Panner batting order against Bryce Foster. Foster misses downstairs and falls behind 3-0. Cleanup hitter for the Goldpanners, Rafael Flores, the designated hitter. Then Cole Alexander, Isaac Shook, Caleb Milliken in the 7th spot. Tate Shamau batting 8th, and Marty Munoz is 9th. 3-0 pitch. Ooh, called a strike. Friendly call for Bryce Foster. Bryce making his 2nd appearance. He has thrown just 3 1/3 this summer. Did not give up a run on 2 base hits. He struck out 2 and walked none. There's a strike. 3-2. So after falling behind 3-0, now a full count on Brock Kless for the Goldpanners. The sophomore from UC San Diego. And he fights this one off, but it's going to go right into the glove of the shortstop Morishige. And Kless retired for out number 1. Good comeback there for Bryce Foster after falling behind 3-0. That'll bring up Brock Rudy, Goldpanner from the University of Utah. Left-handed hitting. Was recruited as a catcher. Been fighting some injury issues, so he is exclusively an outfielder for the Goldpanners. Batting in the high 300s all summer, over 400 for a little while. And Rudy smacks this one to left center, but on the run and making the catch is the center fielder Terry. Hard hit ball by Rudy. There's a line out to center field, 2 up and 2 down for Bryce Foster. Let's go around the Studs defense. Catching for Bryce Foster is Will DeForest. At first base, Kyle Rodriguez. The second base is Makana Morishige. Nate De La Cruz at short. Ethan Rhodes, the third baseman. Peyton Smith is in left. Braden Terry in center. And Chris Schuchart is in right. This one is popped back and out of play by Sean Rimmer. Well, you mentioned some of the bad from yesterday's game. How about some of the good? Sean Rimmer, 4 for 5 with 3 doubles against the Everett Merchants. An RBI and 3 runs scored. Rimmer will be at Hawaii this fall. He fouls this one back to the netting, and it's 0-2. Garo Von Dane here in beautiful Tacoma. It's been awesome here. Had a long game yesterday, over 3 hours against the Merchants. And things just fell apart midway through that game, and Panners did not recover. This one is lifted high into left field, and coming in towards the line and making the catch is Peyton Smith. And Bryce Foster matches Nolan Meredith's first inning and goes 1-2-3. Scoreless from UPS Field here in Tacoma. Goldpanners and Studs, we head to the second inning from UPS Field in beautiful Tacoma, Washington. Garo Von Dane live. Alexis Friedman got the broadcast up and running. She is out snapping photos. Hopefully you've had a chance to check out some of her work on the Goldpanners Facebook and Instagram pages. Excellent photographer from Hofstra University. Alexis Friedman back with the team for the rest of the summer. So you have that to look forward to. Chris Carlson working from back in Fairbanks, making sure we get these games on the air to you. Looks like we've got our internet stuff figured out, so hopefully we'll have the rest of the games. Meredith out for his second inning of work. Went 1-2-3 in the first, now facing Kyle Rodriguez for the Studs, and this one is chopped to third. Shamau on one hop, pumps, throws, and gets the out. A 5-3 put out of Rodriguez, and one away here in the second inning. This is a rare kind of start to a baseball game. It has been a while since we've seen a game where both teams went 1-2-3 in the first inning. It's been so long that I can't find one in my scorebook. But Nolan Meredith went 1-2-3 in the top of the first. Bryce Foster in the bottom of the first. This one's popped out of play. Yesterday, Corey Braun went 2 2/3 before giving up a base hit. Meredith misses upstairs 1-2 on Braden Terry, center fielder for the Studs. This one is hit high and deep to left center field. And Brock Rudy is there to make the catch. 2 up and 2 down here brings up Nate De La Cruz. My current book goes back to the Midnight Sun game on June 21st. Nolan Meredith, since at least then, is the first Goldpanner pitcher to go 1-2-3 in the first inning. He has now put down 5 in a row to open this game. Brings up Nate De La Cruz. 2 strikes and 2 outs. De La Cruz with the bases empty and Ethan Rhodes on deck. Reached out, grounded one towards second. Milliken on to first. What a start for Nolan Meredith. 6 up and 6 down. We're scoreless from Tacoma. Goldpanners coming to bat in the bottom of the second. Garrel Von Dane back here in Tacoma, Washington. Goldpanners come to bat in the bottom of the second inning. Nolan Meredith 6 up and 6 down so far. Goldpanners really in desperate need of a good effort from a starting pitcher. And Rafael Flores will stand in and try to give the Goldpanners some offense. They went 1-2-3 in the first inning against Bryce Foster. And here's Rafael Flores for Fairbanks, out of Rio Hondo Junior College. Flores 8 for his last 18 with a couple of home runs. It lines this one, but a leaping grab by the second baseman, Morishige. Timed it perfectly to rob Flores of a base hit. Brings up Cole Alexander, Panner first baseman. Sophomore from Hawaii, hailing from Georgetown, Texas. 1 out, base is empty. Foster starts with ball 1 to Alexander. That'll bring up Isaac Shuck after Cole. No base runners yet in the game. Lines this one into shallow left, coming in quickly and trying to make the sliding catch, but unable to do so as Peyton Smith was sliding on his backside, reached out with the glove, actually got a piece of that baseball with the mitt, but couldn't hang on. And Alexander with the base hit, the first hit of the game for either team. And it comes with one out here in the second inning. And that means Isaac Shook will bat, number 17 for the Goldpanners. As the catching duties tonight. Isaac missed the Grand Forks tournament and went 1 for 4 in his return against the Studs on Tuesday. Panners winning that game 7-3. Panner pitchers in that game shut out the Studs from the 3rd to the 9th inning. Studs led that game 3-1. And the Panners scored 6 unanswered. But control issues reared their ugly head again yesterday. Throw to first, and that one's in the dirt, and will allow Alexander to go to second base as the ball got away. And the E1 charge to Bryce Foster allows Alexander to get into scoring position with one out here in the second inning. Just having runners on base could cause so many problems for the opposing pitcher. We've seen that all summer long. Nothing in one on Shook. Follow the Goldpanners all summer long right here on Panner Vision, also on Twitter where we try to keep you up to speed. Although here on the road, you'll be getting things quicker from my Twitter account, @VoiceOfGman. So you can follow me there, and of course, check out Alexis's pictures on Facebook and Instagram. I don't know if she's doing the TikTok or not. 1-1. Shook checks his swing, takes a strike. It's 1-2. Runner at second base with one out. Here in the bottom of inning number 2. And after Shook is Caleb Milliken. The right-hander sets, checks the runner, and comes home and misses outside for ball 2. Panners looking for good pitching tonight. They've been hitting the baseball pretty consistently. I mean, this team averages over 6.5 runs per game. Can't ask for much more than that. This one is grounded to short. Throw on to first. We'll take care of Shook on the 6-3 putout. Over to third goes Alexander. And Milliken will bat with a chance to drive in the first run of the game. Caleb Milliken, the junior from Pomona, Pitzer. 6 foot, 170 pounds out of Berkeley, California. Left-handed hitter. Right, throws with his right hand. No score, bottom of the second. Runner at third, and 2 outs for Milliken. Caleb's been on a good stretch, 11 for his last 26. 8 runs scored over that span. He was batting leadoff for a while. Swings and misses for strike 1 against the right-hander, Bryce Foster. '62nd season of Goldpanner baseball. Studs have been around even longer. Swing and a miss. Milliken strikes out. Ball's dropped, so the throw to first base will record the out. First strikeout for Bryce Foster, and the Goldpanners strand a runner at third. We have played 2 complete from UPS Field in Tacoma. No score, Goldpanners and Studs. Top of the third inning from UPS Field here in Tacoma, Washington. Gorgeous sunny evening. The moon is high above. Beautiful day, warm. Goldpanners and Studs meeting up for the third time this year. They split the first two meetings. Ethan Rhodes leading off against Nolan Meredith. It takes inside for ball one. It's 1-1. Meredith has faced 6 batters and retired them all. Rhodes takes way outside. Goldpanners got a 1-out single in the second inning, and that runner was eventually stranded at third. Ethan Rhodes batting just .154 this summer, pops this one out of play. Top hitter on the team is Chris Schuchart, the 3-hitter. He's batting .404. But Kyle Rodriguez not too shabby at .382, and catcher Will DeForest at .367. As a club, the Stud's batting .285. This one is grounded to second. A roller to Milliken, throws on to first. 1 up and 1 down here in the third. So yeah, the grass is shorter today. They mowed it. It's still thick. Yesterday was pretty funny in a lot of ways. There were 5 infield hits for the Goldpanners because the ball just slows down so much. There was a throw home from right, and the ball died in the grass before it even got to the plate. Just hit that grass and stopped. Made for a whole different type of baseball. Will DeForest at the plate against number 16, the right-hander Nolan Meredith from UC Davis, where my sister did some of her collegiate studies, veterinary graduate school. I got to spend a little time there at Davis. It's also where Caden Hogan is, and we hope to get him still this season. Played for the Panners last year. And a strike called. It's 2-2. Meredith to DeForest with Zaya Ackles on deck. No score here, top of the third inning. Checked his swing. Did he go on appeal? He said he did not. And the count is full. Mentioned DeForest average .367. He pops this one out of play. Really, we've been enjoying great weather this entire road trip. Up in Grand Forks, it was just wonderful. Here, it's been gorgeous. DeForest reaches down, hits this one high into left, and Brock Rudy barely has to move, and will make the catch for out number 2. Zaya Ackles, the designated hitter, in the 9 spot. Zaya had a particularly interesting evening in Grand Forks. It was one of the liveliest crowds of the entire tournament. He was in right field, and those bleacher nuts in right field in Grand Forks, they are a wild bunch, as you've heard me talk about when we were in Grand Forks. The drinks are flowing freely in right field, and Zaya, just because he was in right field, was the recipient of all sorts of things raining down from the crowd. Not objects, but words. They just occasionally pick a right fielder and go after him, and it was Zaya's turn that day. The next day, Dom Hughes was excited to play in right because of it, but the crowd was pretty quiet that night. Swing and a miss, and Meredith strikes out Ackles. 9 up and 9 down for Nolan Meredith. We're scoreless through 2.5. Bottom of the third inning here from UPS Field in beautiful Tacoma, Washington. Garo Von Dane here in the press box. Alexis Friedman out snapping pictures for the Facebook and Instagram pages. Tate Shamau leading off for the Goldpanners in a scoreless game, and Shamau rips this one into left field. A base hit for Tate Shamau. A leadoff single for the Goldpanners. And Shamau is at first base, and that'll bring up Marty Munoz. Marty Munoz, the short-handed shortstop from Cal Baptist, a 5'8" sophomore out of Riverside, California. Batting here with a runner at first and nobody out. Marty 0 for 7 since his return to the lineup, and there goes Shamau for second base, and the ball is perfectly thrown and on target. Will DeForest throws out Tate Shamau. The tag applied by Nate De La Cruz. Caught stealing goes 2-6. Head coach Mark Lindsay says we have to run bases to win games. Panners have been very good at it this year, but that was an excellent throw from DeForest.
What is it, Blue? I missed the first one.
And now Marty Munoz batting with the bases empty. Takes inside.
2-1, thank you.
2 balls and a strike. Munoz the batter. Panners lose the leadoff runner. And Brock Klez will follow Marty from the top of the order. Ooh, strike called. Breaking ball is fouled off by Munoz. Awaiting the 2-2 offering from Bryce Foster. And lines this one off the glove of the third baseman Rhodes into left field. And Munoz has himself a base hit. A couple of hits in the inning, but 1 out and 1 on after the caught stealing. But the Panners get another runner on with just 1 out. And Brock Klez the batter. Klez flew out to second base in his first plate appearance. Runner bluffs from first, and the curveball lands in for a strike. Over in the third base box is Ryan Hansen providing signs. Over at first, it's Jake Taylor, the Maryland native. Ground ball to third. On to second for 1. To first, and the 5-4-3 double play ends the third inning. We'll head to the fourth. No score. Goldpanners and studs. Nolan Meredith back out for his 4th inning of work. Starting pitcher for the Goldpanners from UC Davis from San Luis Obispo. And he starts the top of the order, Makane Morishige. Morishige, a great catch earlier in the game over at second base. Popped out to short in the 1st inning. And is in the hole here, 0-2 on Meredith, who has been jumping in front of hitters today. Excellent control so far for the Goldpanner right-hander. Throws upstairs for ball 1. Isaac Shook calling a good ball game so far. Also getting signs in from head coach Mark Lindsay. And that breaking ball is grounded to short. Munoz has it on to first in time for the 6-3 put out here in the 4th inning. That'll bring up Peyton Smith and then Chris Schuchart. So Goldpanners with another ball game tomorrow in the morning. Breakfast at UPS. 11 a.m. Pacific time against the Everett Merchants. So the rematch with Everett. And then we will close out the road trip against the Studs at 1 p.m. on Sunday. And then the team will fly out a few hours later and arrive in Fairbanks in the wee hours of the morning. And then have a little bit of time off. Get back there early morning of the 11th. Off on the 12th, and then on the 13th hosting the Inland Valley Pirates. So our friends at Groudon will be real happy to welcome the Goldpanners back for the final homestand. 3 series remain at Groudon. The Pirates, the Seals, and the team from Arizona, the Flagstaff Star Chasers. Ball and 2 strikes on Peyton Smith, who popped up to 3rd in his first at bat. Misses up and away, 2-2. Three Goldpanner hits in the game, no runs so far. This one is lined into the glove of Meredith. And all Peyton Smith can do is smile and pick up the lumber. That one lined right back into the mitt of Nolan Meredith, and he has a big smile on his face too. A little fist bump from Tate Shamal. Looky what I got. 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Brings up Chris Schuchart. Studs right fielder who struck out looking. Big bender from Meredith for strike 3. Someone comes inside for ball 1. Nolan's dad here in the stands watching this excellent start so far for Nolan. The right-hander readies with the 1-1. Checked his swing. Did he go? Again, they say no. Panner dug out, not thrilled with that call. Or the one prior. Foul tip into the glove of catcher Shook, and it's 2-2. 2 outs, base is empty. And Meredith to Schuchart. This one is lined into right center field. That's a base hit. First hit for the Studs, Chris Schuchart. Comes with 2 outs here in the 4th inning. Schuchart, the top hitter on the Studs team, started the day at .404. That's his 22nd hit of the summer. And leads the team in RBIs with 13. Important to note, the stats I have do not include the Grand Forks International. Those are not updated on the Studs point streak And the Panther point streak stats are a good 5 games behind, so I'm not referring to those either. Kyle Rodriguez with a runner at first and 2 away. No score, top of inning number 4. Goldpanners, the home team today. They will be the road team against the Studs on Sunday. And we'll flip a coin for tomorrow's game. Swing and a miss, 2-1. An efficient start to this game for Nolan Meredith. He has faced just 1 more than the minimum. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Meredith gets the ball quickly, steps right back on the rubber, gets the sign, checks the runner, and comes home. Deals one high and away. Count will go full on Kyle Rodriguez, 3-2. Braden Terry is on deck for Seattle. And the payoff pitch to Rodriguez. Runner takes off and a pitch up and in, and it's ball for the first walk issued by Nolan Meredith. And the Studs trying to do something here with 2 outs in the 4th. So first hit of the game, and then the first walk. And Meredith will try to take care of Braden Terry, who flew out to left in his first at bat. And it's popped up. Should be playable for Shamau, calling for the baseball. And he makes the catch, and no damage done here in the 4th. The Studs get no runs on 1 hit. They leave a couple of men on. We've played 3.5 from UPS Field. Studs 0, Goldpanners 0. Strike called on Brock Rudy to open up the bottom of the 4th inning. We're scoreless here in Tacoma. Studs, no runs on 1 base hit. Goldpanners, no runs, 3 hits.
I think that's where he's from.
And Rudy grounds one to short. Sliding to his right as De La Cruz throws across and will get Rudy by a step. 0-for-2 start to this game for Brock brings up Sean Rimmer. Wearing number 22 in a Gold Panner jersey, Sean Rimmer had that big day yesterday, going 4 for 5 with 3 doubles. Hit one off the center field fence. Has 4 home runs this year. That leads the Gold Panners, and he pops this one back and off the fence. After Rimmer is Flores and then Cole Alexander. Tomorrow an 11 a.m. start against the Everett Merchants. Foul back over the press box, 0-2. And after the game, team will head back to the hotel, shower up, and head into the city for the Mariners-Blue Jays game. So that should be a lot of fun. Mariners and Blue Jays. That one fell right back in my face, but the netting is there, thankfully. Remains 0-2 on Rimmer from Bryce Foster, with 1 out and the bases empty here in the bottom of the 4th. Last year we went to the Mariners game, and I was able to try the fried crickets. Swing and a miss. Rimmer strikes out. That's the second strikeout for Bryce Foster. Yeah, they sell fried crickets at the Mariner games, and they weren't too bad. I mean, obviously they're just straight protein, and they give you a little cup of them, and you snack on them, and then I took them home and put them on salads. Yep. Would you try the fried crickets? If only we had our YouTube chat up. We don't have it right now. I'd like to know how many of you would go for it in Seattle. Studs GM and head coach Barry Aiden said, "I'll eat any sushi you give me except for uni, the sea urchin, but I'm not touching the crickets." That's what Elise here said too. She wasn't going to try the crickets. Never has, even though she has season tickets. You got to try. When in Rome. Line to left, a base hit for Rafael Flores. A 2-out base runner for the Gold Panners, the 4th hit of the game, all singles. Brings up Cole Alexander. He had an infield hit in the 2nd inning. A lot of infield hits yesterday. The Gold Panners with 5 of them on this grass. And man, oh man, things fell apart in that game in the 5th inning. Panners led 3-0 over the Merchants. And then 9 unanswered for Everett. Panner pitchers walked 9 batters, hit 2 batters. And in the previous 3 games, Panner pitchers have walked 20 and hit a few. But the defensive miscues too, 10 errors in the last 3 games, including 4 yesterday. This one has popped up left side. Will it get out of play? Yes. 1-1 on Alexander. It was the worst loss for the Gold Panners since June 22nd against the San Diego Waves. That was a 10-1 loss. They hadn't lost a game by more than 3 since then, until yesterday. The 0-1 pitch is way upstairs, or the 1-1 pitch rather. It's 2-1 on Cole Alexander. Sophomore from Hawaii, trying to keep this inning alive with a runner at first and 2 outs. The bottom of the 4th. Well up and away. 3-1. Foster has not walked a batter yet today. Isaac Shook is on deck. Down low, ball 4. So Alexander takes the base on balls. First walk issued by Bryce Foster. Yeah, now he'll face Isaac Shook, who grounded out to short in his first at bat. 2 outs and 2 aboard. Can Shook bring in the first run of the game? A long look at the signs from Foster. Now he's ready. That one's fouled back to the net. Isaac grounded out to short in the second inning. Panners went down 1-2-3 in the first, but have at least a hit in each inning since. But trying to get on the board here in the bottom of the fourth. And he pops him up right side. Morishige calling for it on the grass, and he will make the catch. Panners strand a couple of base runners on a hit and a walk. We have played 4 complete from UPS Field. It's the Stud 0, Goldpanners 0. Nolan Meredith out for his 5th inning of work. Both starting pitchers remain in the game as we start inning number 5. Garo Von Dayen live here, and a gorgeous day here in Tacoma. Glad to have you with us on Panner Vision. A couple more days here, and we are gone back to Fairbanks. Little roller first base side. Meredith is going to play it and take it to the bag himself. And he takes care of De La Cruz with the 1 unassisted putout. Brings up Ethan Rhodes, 1 out, bases empty. Not one leadoff runner has reached for the Studs today. And as you all know, that has been an issue for Goldpanner pitchers, allowing leadoff runners to reach. Yesterday, it was the 5th inning where things went awry. And this one's lined into right field for a base hit. Ethan Rhodes has the 2nd Studs hit of the game. Brings up Will DeForest with 1 on and 1 out. From the 5th to the 9th inning yesterday, 19 reached safely for Everett. They scored those 9 unanswered and went on to win 13-5. The Studs had a comeback win against Everett a couple of days ago, scoring 4 runs in the 8th inning to win it 6-5. Will DeForest awaiting the pitch from Meredith, and it's chopped foul. It's Barry Aiden over there in the third base box. Studs wearing those gray uniforms today. Alexander holding the runner on. Yesterday there were 2 pickoff throws by Goldpanner pitchers that went awry. One, the throw went right to first base, but nobody was on first base. And then it happened over at second. One and two on Will DeForest, who flew out to left earlier in the game. Tried to get him to chase off the plate. It stays 2-2 now. Scoreless game here, top of the 5th inning. Held off on a pitch outside. 3 balls and 2 strikes now. With 1 out and Ethan Rhodes over at first base. It's already July 8th. Hard to believe. Pop back and out of play. A month from now, the season will be over. So don't miss a second of the action here on Panavision. It's over before you know it. High fly ball into left. Brock Rudy looking up into that sun, waiting, and finally comes out of the sky. And Rudy makes the catch to retire DeForest. And 2 outs for Zaya Ackles. Ackles is the designated hitter today for the Studs. Again, Landon Riker not in the starting lineup. He's the stud that hit the grand slam in the first inning in Grand Forks. Outside corner for a strike, 0-1. 2 outs and 1 on. A 0-0 game. Panners in the bottom of the 5th. We'll have the bottom 3 in the order up. Milliken, Shamau, and Munoz. There to throw to first, Alexander. Be able to snag that one. Swing and a miss. Runner takes off for second. The throw is on the money. Isaac Shuck nailing the runner at second base. That's all for the Studs here in the 5th inning. Caught stealing goes 2-6. We're scoreless through half a ball game. Goldpanners come up here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Garrow Von Dane on just a fantastic evening in the Pacific Northwest. Strike is called. Showing bunt was Caleb Milliken. Pulled the bat back, took a strike. Milliken, then Shimao and Munoz due up here for Fairbanks. Still hoping that smoke blows out of Fairbanks before we get back. This one is chopped right side, fielded by the first baseman Rodriguez, who gets to the bag in time. 3-out assist takes care of Milliken. Bryce Foster putting together a very nice effort here for the Seattle Studs. He has not given up a run. He has scattered 5 hits. He has walked one and not allowed one to cross. Panners with 2 hits in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, but could not score. Double play spoiled things in the 3rd. Panners are 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position today. Shimao hits this one high into right center field, and making the catch in front of the warning track is the center fielder Terry. 2 up and 2 down for the Goldpanners here in the 5th. 3 straight retired by the right-hander Bryce Foster. Here's Marty Munoz, who singled in his first at-bat. And a strike called on Munoz. 2 outs and the base is empty. Looking at the weather in Fairbanks right now, it is 83 degrees and a red flag warning. Smoky, smoky, and smoky. It has been awful there since shortly before we left. 2 balls and a strike on Munoz. Swing and a miss, 2-2. Looking at the 10-day forecast in Fairbanks. Starting Sunday, 50% chance of rain for much of the week. Munoz swings and misses and strikes out. A 1-2-3 5th for Bryce Foster. We're seeing some good pitching here so far today. Through 5, we're scoreless. Goldpanners and Studs. We head to the 6th inning from UPS Field here in Tacoma, Washington. Garo Von Dane on Panavision. Glad to have you with us wherever you're tuning in from. The Goldpanners and Studs. Good pitching matchup here today, and that's all for Nolan Meredith. He departs after 5 excellent innings, giving up no runs on just 2 base hits, and it's Steven Vasquez taking over. Number 36, Steven Vasquez. Sophomore from Mount Sac, right-hander out of Upland, California. And he deals a strike. It's 1-1 on Zaya Aklis, designated hitter, and also an outfielder for the Seattle Studs. Our good friend Steve Potter, who is an assistant coach with the Studs, not with the team the rest of this week. He's enjoying himself at a wedding in New Orleans. Wouldn't that be fun? Hope you're having a good time, Potsy. This one is hit into right field and coming in. And reaching up to make the catch is Sean Rimmers. He finally gets some action out in right. Aklis is out number 1. Go to the top of the order for Makane Morishige, who is 0 for 2 so far today. So Nolan Meredith, 5 innings, no runs on just 2 base hits. He struck out 2 and walked only 1. So Nolan Meredith giving head coach Mark Lindsay exactly what the Goldpanners needed today. An excellent starting pitching performance. This one is grounded right over the mound into center field. And a base hit for Makane Morishige. That is the 3rd hit of the game for the Studs. They've had a base hit in each of the last 3 innings. But they have yet to get the leadoff man aboard. They did get 2 on with 2 outs in the 4th, but did not score. Here's Peyton Smith, 0 for 2 so far in the game. Now facing the new pitcher, Steven Vasquez. He deals one outside for ball 1. 11 a.m. game tomorrow. So get your sleep tonight, friends. That will allow the Goldpanners plenty of time to shower up and head into the city for the Mariners game. That is a great ballpark. I spent a lot of time there in the summer of 2000 and have been to a lot of games that I don't even know what it's called. It used to be Safeco Field. What is it called now? It's not Safeco anymore, Elise. We'll try to get an answer out of Elise, who is up here in the press box working the scoreboard for the Studs. Yeah, I don't know what it's called anymore. They can't keep track with these stadium corporate names. Vasquez. 3 balls and a strike to Peyton Smith with a runner at first and 1 out. And it's 3-2. Missed ball 4. So after the first out was recorded, single, walk. And now the Studs have something working. In the 6th inning. And now Chris Schuchart, the most dangerous hitter on the team, stands in. He is 1 for 2 today. And he grounds one sharply to third, past the glove of Tate Shimau into left field. The runner will be waved around and will score. Throw comes to third, and Shimau can't backhand that one out of the dirt. So second and third for the Studs, and they have taken a 1-0 lead here in the 6th inning. And who else but Chris Schuchart? That'll bring up Kyle Rodriguez in the cleanup spot, so that didn't take long. First out recorded, then single, walk, and a double. Boy, those walks. Infield is drawn in here with second and third and 1 out. Everybody on the grass, and Rodriguez grounds one foul. Shermau had a shot at that one, just couldn't get leather on it. Tried to backhand it. Breaking ball misses, 2-1 to Rodriguez, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. Scoreless baseball for 5 innings. Now the Studs jump out to a 1-0 lead here in the 6th. The infield drawn in, and a 2-1 pitch coming from Vasquez outside. 3-1. Braden Terry is on deck, and now here comes Isaac Shook to talk to Steven Vasquez. The 3-1 pitch to Rodriguez. Swing and a miss, 3-2. All the infielders on the grass. In a full count. 1 out, payoff pitch coming to Kyle Rodriguez. Vasquez gets the sign from Shook. And time is called. Breaking ball just got a piece of it. Three and two. First base open. 1 run is in. And he pops it up right side, but it is going to get out of play. Vasquez will have to deal another 3-2 pitch. Rodriguez awaits. Foul back to the netting. It's 3-1. Vasquez got the strike call to make it 3-2. Now a bunch of foul balls. Studs trying to break this game open. And another payoff pitch on the way. The curveball is just barely fouled off. Good at bat here for Rodriguez. Can he turn it into something? Or can Vasquez retire the cleanup spot? Ground ball to short. Munoz looks the runner back, throws to first, and they get the out. And it works to perfection after a long at bat for Rodriguez. The 6-3 put out for out number 2, and that will bring up Braden Terry. Now the infield returns to regular depth. And Braden Terry is 0 for 2 in the game. Ball and no strikes from Vasquez. Second and third, 2 away. He takes downstairs 2-0. The 2-0. Swinging a foul tip. It's 2-1. Vasquez trying to put an end to this 6th inning without allowing any more damage. 1 run is in. There are 2 runners in scoring position. Braden Terry takes a curveball for a strike. That one fell off of a table. 2-2. Should Terry reach, it would be De La Cruz. Oh, he thought about it. On appeal, they say he did not go. And it's 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, and he went around. No? Yes, he did. He is called out. And that's all for the Studs here in the 6th. They'll have to settle for 1 run on 2 base hits. They leave a couple on. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th. The Studs leading 1-0. Gerald Von Dane here in Tacoma. It is just a fantastic night for baseball. The Goldpanners and Seattle Studs meeting up for the third time this summer, and the third time in about the past week. They've split the first two, and now the Seattle Studs take a 1-0 lead here in the sixth. Goldpanners come up in the bottom of the sixth, and we'll look to the top of the order to get something started against the new pitcher, Devin McWaters. Devin McWaters, number 13, the right-hander, takes over for Bryce Foster, who goes 5 scoreless for the Seattle Studs. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt, and it's 1-2 on Brock Kless. Kless 0 for 2 so far today, flew out to second, grounded into a 5-4-3 inning-ending double play in the third. Grounded up the middle, fielded by the shortstop De La Cruz, who throws on to first and gets Kless by half a step. The 6-3 putout. You can't help but look at a lot of these balls and say, that's a base hit at Groudon. On the turf, the carpet turf at Groudon in Fairbanks, but not here on the grass. Here's Brock Rudy, who is 0 for 2 so far today. So 1 up and 1 down for the new pitcher, Devin McWaters. Fouled out of play. Bryce Foster, 5 innings, no runs on 4 base hits. Strike called, it's 0-2. Foster, no runs, 4 hits, 3 strikeouts, and just 1 walk. This one fought off into shallow left, and it will drop because Peyton Smith had no idea where the baseball was. Lost it in the sun. Not sure he would have caught up to it anyway, but he clearly could not find that baseball. But it is a base hit for Brock Rudy, his first hit of the evening. And brings up Sean Rimmer. He's 0 for 2, so he's due after his 4 for 5 day yesterday. Down and away for ball 1 to Sean Rimmer. So both starting pitchers go 5 innings, giving up no runs. Meredith for the Goldpanners. Foster for the Studs. That one's lined into left field for a base hit. Rudy will head around second and stop. And so Gold at first and second now after back-to-back hits with 1 out here in the 6th. The Studs lead at 1-0, but now the Goldpanners with an opportunity. They're 0 for 4 with runners in scoring position and have struggled in those spots in recent games over the last 2.5 games, so this game and the 2 prior. Are just 7 for 33 in those situations. Grounded to short, to the bag for 1, on to first, and unable to make the play at first. That allows Rudy to come in to score. The throw is off the mark from Morishige. And trying to stretch to field that ball was Rodriguez, but too far out of his reach. And the run scores to tie the game. Flores does not get an RBI, but he brings in the tying run as Rudy scores. Rimmer is erased on the 6-4 putout. Then the E4 allows the run to score. Cole Alexander now the batter as the inning continues. And it's fouled into the Studs dugout on the third base side. Alexander has been on base twice. Infield hit and a walk so far. Second error charged to the Studs today. Goldpanners have not committed an error after 4 yesterday. We're in the bottom of the 6th, and we are tied at 1.
Is it 2-1 or is it 1-2? I know I pushed 2-1.
Alexander with a runner at first and 2 outs. He lifts one high into shallow center field. And look out, coming back, and it's going to drop safely. That one looked troublesome. He just had a feeling watching it. Morishige went all the way out into center field. Terry was coming in and it landed right between the two of them. And so the inning continues with Flores at third and Alexander all the way to second base on the play. And now the Goldpanners can get the lead with a base hit here from Isaac Shook. And this one's popped back and out of play. 0-1 on Shook with Milliken on deck. The Panners tie the game and now have runners at second and third. With 2 outs. And time is called. Ball and a strike. Devin McWaters, first inning of work. Facing Isaac Shook with runners at second and third and 2 away. A 1-1 game. McWaters, and it's popped up right side. Will it stay playable in foul territory? And it does, making the catch is Rodriguez against the fence. That's it for the Goldpanners here in the 6th inning. Panners do tie the game. They leave a couple on. We've played 6 complete. Studs 1, Goldpanners 1. Strike called as we open up the 7th inning here in Tacoma. Gorgeous night for baseball. Hope you're enjoying things on Panner Vision. Garrow Von Dane Here in the press box at UPS Field, home of the Puget Sound Loggers during the school year. And home to these Seattle studs in the summertime. Steven Vasquez, second inning of work for Fairbanks. Facing Nate De La Cruz, Ethan Rhodes, and Will DeForest. Swing and a miss and a 3-pitch strikeout to open up the 7th inning. Studs have not gotten a leadoff runner on in the game today. The Panners have done so once in the game, and then that runner was caught stealing. Curveball in for a strike from Vasquez. Studs got a run in the 6th inning against Vasquez. A 1-out single, then a walk, and an RBI double by Schuchart. Panners answer back with a run in the bottom of the 6th inning. Brock Rudy singling with 1 out. He came in to score on an error. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back 3-pitch strikeouts for Vasquez as he gets Rhodes and now facing Will DeForest. Four hits and 1 run for the Seattle Studs today. Goldpanners have 6 base hits and 1 run. 1-2. Vasquez has missed with just 1 pitch here in the inning. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Vasquez was 1 pitch from an immaculate inning. He strikes out the side here in the 7th. We'll go to the bottom of the 7th, a 1-1 game. Goldpanners come to bat here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Nothing going on here during the 7th inning stretch in Seattle. Goldpanners, of course, will be looking forward to seeing Happy Boy make his return when we get back to Fairbanks. July 13th, our next home game, 6:30 p.m. start against the Inland Valley Pirates. Devin McWaters back on the hill. His 2nd inning of work. Well, the Seattle Studs, he gave up a run in the 6th inning. It was an earned run despite the error. Swinging a foul tip into the glove of DeForest. 0-2 to Caleb Milliken. Milliken, Shimau, and Munoz here in the 7th inning of a 1-1 game. Refreshing after yesterday's 13-5 debacle. The 0-2. Tried to get him to chase well off the plate. 1-2. Milliken 0 for 2 in the game, but still 11 for his last 28. Two balls and 2 strikes to Milliken, leading off the bottom of the 7th. Painters with a run on 7 hits. Studs a run on 4 hits. Upstairs for a ball. It's now 3-2. Tomorrow morning, an 11 a.m. start against the Everett Merchants. The payoff. That one might have been low, but Caleb, taking no chances, fouls that one out of play. Another 3-2 pitch to come to Caleb Milliken, who was in a hole 0-2 before working the count full. He fouls off one payoff pitch, and he pops this one up left side, headed into foul territory. It will land harmlessly out of the reach of third baseman Rhodes, who was charging it down, but just didn't have enough time to get there. Well, Milliken comes back to pick up the bat. And another 3-2 from McWaters. Hit into center field. Terry will come in. Did he break fast enough? He did. He had a late break on that one, but recovered to make the catch for out number 1. To finally retire Milliken. That'll bring up Tate Shimau for the Goldpanners. Tate 1 for 2 in the game. Shimau and then Munoz. Painters trying to break this 1-1 tie here in the 7th. Elise made the mistake of talking about extra innings earlier. It's a big no-no in the press box. One hopper to the mound. McWaters tosses to first base. Shimau is out number 2. You have never seen a more furious group than a Major League press box when a game goes extra innings. Pens fly, notepads hit the ground, fists hit the table. All those deadlines, all those post-game dinners and beverages out the window. It is an angry bunch when you finish a 9th inning tied in a Major League press box. Mount Rainier showing itself out in center field. Our first view of it here on this trip. At Mount Rainier, if you've never been to Seattle, it is quite a sight. On clear days, it looks like it's in front of your nose. The 1-1 to Munoz with 2 outs and the base is empty. And he takes a strike. You can climb Mount Rainier. You can go about 2/3 of the way up on foot, and then you have to, get approval and climbing equipment to do the rest. But it is a really neat climb. Marmots are all over the mountain. Ball and 2 strikes to Marty Munoz, who's 1 for 2 in the game. Takes downstairs. Oh, and it's called strike 3. So that's it for Munoz. A 1-2-3 inning for McWaters. We are tied through 7. Goldpanners and Studs as we move to the 8th inning here at UPS Field in Tacoma, and a bunt is put down, barehanded by Vasquez, and he elects to swallow the baseball. Zaya Ackles with a fantastic bunt to give the Studs their first leadoff runner of the game, and it comes here to open up the 8th inning. And we go to the top of the order for Makane Morishige. 1 for 3 in the game. He scored the only run for the Studs in the 6th inning. Tossed to first, runner back safely. Vasquez was 1 pitch over an immaculate inning in the 7th. And that's one way to break up some rhythm, by dropping down a bunt single. Showing bunt, pulling back, taking one in the dirt. It bounces away, and the runner goes to second. And here come the Studs in the 8th inning. The wild pitch moves the runner to second base. And he'll probably still be bunting now, because now you have an opportunity to put a runner at third with fewer than 2 outs. Tate Shimau creeps in from third, so does Cole Alexander from first. And Makane Morishige with a 2-0 count. And he puts the bunt down, and it's a good one. Vasquez throws it to first. Oh, a good play by Alexander to pick it up out of the turf. And if he doesn't, the run scores. But the sacrifice bunt moves Ackles to third base. And Peyton Smith will try to bring in the go-ahead run here in the 8th inning. You got some big bats here to worry about now with Smith, Schuchart, and Rodriguez. Sac fly here. Or give the Studs the lead. This is a chopper first base side foul. The last time the Panthers brought the infield in like this with a runner at third, they got just what they wanted on a grounder right back to the shortstop Munoz, who was able to keep the runner at third and get the out at first. A righty-lefty matchup here as Smith tries to give the Studs the lead back. And he takes outside. Ball on a strike to Peyton Smith with Schuchart on deck. That one getting away from Vasquez. Bounced off the glove of Schuch, but not far enough away for the run to score. Well, it just got off the fingers of Steven Vasquez, the right-hander for the Goldpanners. He's desperately trying to keep this game tied at 1. No one manufactures runs like the Seattle Studs do. The bunt single. And that ball's hammered into center field. This one is going to get over the head of the center fielder, Klez, all the way to the wall. The run scores easily as Ackles touches home, and an RBI double for Peyton Smith has given the Studs a 2-1 lead here in the 8th inning. And that's how they do it. A bunt single, a wild pitch, a sac bunt, and then you're just trying to get into one for the sac fly, and boy, did he get into that one. To deep center field, Peyton Smith, an RBI double, and he's now in scoring position with 1 out. 2-1 Studs for Chris Schuchart out of Diablo Valley College. 6'4". Listed as 213. He looks bigger than that. From Poulsbo, Washington. Added 324 this year at school.
Just a base hit, Chris. Come on.
Batting .404 for the Studs this year. Takes down low. It's 1-1. Doesn't get much easier with Rodriguez on deck. Lifted high into center field, and Klez to his right will make the catch. The runner will tag. He's going to try and get to third. Now they've got him hung up between third and second. Back to Milliken it goes. Now Vasquez. And Vasquez will tag the runner out for the final out before tumbling to the dirt. And that is it for the Studs, a base running mistake. And the Panners get out of the inning, but the Studs do take the lead 2-1. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. Bottom of the 8th inning, the Panners trailing 2-1 as the Studs regain the lead. But could have gotten worse. Panners with the big out to close the inning on what turned into be a double play. And leading things off for the Goldpanners is Brock Klez, and he grounds one towards third. Backhanded stop and on the money to first. Rhodes to Rodriguez, and Klez is out on one pitch. An 0-for-4 day for Brock so far. Brings up Brock Rudy and then Sean Rimmer. That inning ended with a fly ball to center field by Schuchart. Caught by Klez. And then Peyton Smith got indecisive between the bases. He tagged up at second, then decided he was going to take third, then changed his mind, and he was tagged out 8-5-4-1. If you're scoring with us at home. So that was the double play to end the inning, but the damage had been done. The Studs get an RBI double from Peyton Smith to score Zaya Ackles, who reached on a bunt single. The first leadoff runner to reach for the Studs today, and he came in to score. And Brock Rudy is in front here, 2 balls and no strikes. A 1-for-3 day so far. He scored the only run for Fairbanks. And he hits one high, just got underneath that one into center field. And shading his eyes and making the catch is Terry, and Rudy is out number 2. Reposted Brock Rudy's highlight from the Midnight Sun game earlier on my Twitter page. It was such a cool, memorable moment. The game-winning hit in the Midnight Sun game. And the celebration ended with Brock wearing the mouse head. So if you haven't watched it, check it out. Chris Carlson cut and edited that video and posted it earlier. 2 outs for the Goldpanners. Here's Sean Rimmer. And he takes a big rip, hits it high, trying to find it as Smith. He's going back, circling, twisting, and somehow makes the catch on the warning track. He was all over the place and left, and Rimmer just missed getting that one out of the park. We're going to the 9th. It's the Studs by 1. We head to the 9th inning from University of Puget Sound Field here in Tacoma, Washington. Garrow Von Dane here. So glad you can join us on Panner Vision. We welcome all of our friends back in Fairbanks. Boy, oh boy, it's been quite a stretch up there with all the smoke from the wildfires. Tough going in the Golden Heart. What a shame that it seems to be this way every summer now. I don't know if it's going to change anytime soon. It's headed for a top 5 worst smoke year on record. 2004 was one of the worst all time. I was there for that summer. It's dreadful. But we've had a bunch in recent years. Goldpanners trailing by 1. Steven Vasquez back out there for the 9th inning, facing Rodriguez, Terry, and De La Cruz. Goldpanners got to find a way to earn another comeback win. They're hoping to keep it just 1 here. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Rodriguez. Vasquez gave up a run in the 6th inning, a 1-out single. Then he walked Peyton Smith, and then Chris Schuchart doubled to bring in the run. A 10-pitch 7th inning, striking out the side for Vasquez. This one slapped into center field. That will drop for a base hit off the end of the bat of Kyle Rodriguez. And for the 2nd consecutive inning, the Studs have the leadoff man aboard. That's the 6th. Is that the 6th hit of the game for the Studs? No, that's the 7th hit of the game for Seattle. And the first for Kyle Rodriguez. That'll bring up Braden Terry, who's 0 for 3 so far. And then after that clean 7th inning, the 8th inning started with an excellent bunt from Zaya Ackles, dropping one down towards third base in this thick grass. The bunt single, then the wild pitch moved the runner to second. A sac bunt put him at third base with 1 out, and Peyton Smith just trying to drive one. And hit one to deep center field for a double. That gave the Studs the lead. Now they're looking for more here in the 9th inning. They would love some insurance here and spoil this excellent pitching effort today by first Nolan Meredith, 5 scoreless. And Steven Vasquez, despite giving up the runs, has done a pretty good job. Pop back and out of play. It's not easy to keep this Goldpanner lineup down to 1 run through 8 innings. Does not happen very often. Two and two to Rodriguez. This Panner team averages 6.7 runs per game. Panners have not been held to fewer than 5 runs since the San Diego Waves did it and held them to 3. Popped up. Calling for it is the shortstop Munoz. Looking up and making the catch for a very big out number 1. That takes care of Braden Terry and brings up Nate De La Cruz. A gorgeous Friday night here in Tacoma. We are tonight, tomorrow night in the city for the Mariners game, and then on a late afternoon flight to Fairbanks on Sunday. Panners here on this road trip have gone 3-4 overall. Finished 3rd at the Grand Forks International. Now have split the first 2 games here in Seattle. A win over the Studs, a loss to the Merchants, and now trailing the Seattle Studs here 2-1 in the 9th inning. Runner at first base for Seattle. Goldpanners the home team. It's been a fast-moving game. We just reached the 2-hour mark. Runner back safely at first. One ball, 2 strikes to Nate De La Cruz. Foul tip off the glove of Isaac Shook. Couldn't hang on for the strikeout. We'll try it again. Ethan Rhodes awaiting his turn on deck. Two and two. Misses downstairs, 3 balls and 2 strikes. I've talked about it here at the games at UPS Field. I cannot see the bullpen, so I can't tell you if or who is warming up. I do hear the catcher's mitt. So somebody's throwing somewhere. That one's smoked but foul. Another 3-2 pitch. Popped up, should be playable for Alexander in foul territory, and he makes the catch. And finally retired is De La Cruz. 2 outs for the Studs here in the top of the ninth. For the Goldpanners, looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth, it will be the 4, 5, and 6 spots due up. Flores, Alexander, and Shook. They are a combined 3 for 8. 2-1 Studs here, top of the ninth. Ethan Rhodes, 1 for 3 in tonight's ball game. Swing and a miss, it's 1-1. Shadows starting to fall across the grass here at UPS Field. The leadoff single by Rodriguez. A couple of pop-ups. And now the 1-1, swing and a miss. Rhodes with a ball and 2 strikes. Vasquez trying to send this game to the bottom of the ninth. With his team down 1. This is up high for ball 2. Vasquez has given up 2 runs on 5 base hits. He has worked 3 2/3 innings so far. Swing and a miss. He strikes out Rhodes. 5 strikeouts for Vasquez. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Goldpanners. They trail the Studs 2-1. Here we go, bottom of the ninth inning, and the Goldpanners trailing the Seattle Studs 2-1. Rafael Flores will lead off against the new pitcher, Cameron Hale. Cameron Hale, the third pitcher into the game for the Studs. You might remember the name from Tuesday night's meeting between the Panners and Studs. And he drops a breaking ball in for a strike. It's 0-1. Hale had an interesting outing. He was the last pitcher into the game for the Studs in that 7-3 Goldpanner win. The right-hander readies with the one-strike pitch and throws one in the dirt. It's 1-1. Hale, 2 1/3. He gave up 2 runs on 2 hits. He walked 3 batters. He hit 2 batters. And he also struck out 3. Panners trying to mount another late comeback victory. It's been a while since they've collected one. Flores fouls this one off. It's 1-2. Flores, Alexander, and Shuck do up. Rafael is 1 for 3 today. Rafael asking the home plate umpire if that was in the zone. Umpire said yes. And here's the 1-2. And he swings and misses for strike 3. Panners have gotten the leadoff man on base today just once, and that base runner was caught stealing moments later. It's perhaps an inning that could have gone the other way for the Goldpanners. The leadoff single, and then after Shamal was caught stealing, Munoz singled. And then Klez grounded into a double play. Klez takes a curveball high for ball 1. Brock has been on base, Klez. It's Alexander. Alexander on base all 3 times today with an infield hit, a walk, and a double. Takes outside, 2-0. Panners have 2 outs remaining. They trail it by just 1. Sean Rimmer almost getting one out of the park in the 8th inning. Brock Rudy had a chance too, just got underneath it. The 2-0 on the outside corner for a strike. Cameron Hale trying to finish off the Panners and earn the save. Grounded sharply, and it takes a big hop over the first baseman Rodriguez into right field. Alexander has a single, and the tying run is on base. That was a rocket down the first base line. Rodriguez tried to get in front of it, and it took a big hop into right field. And a 1-out single, and Matthew Pinal is going to pinch hit for Isaac Shuck. So Matthew Pinal will pinch hit here out of Long Beach College. And he will bat for Shuck, who ends an 0 for 3 day at the plate. And Matthew Pinal will stand in here against Cam Hale. Alex Garcia is in to pinch run, and he takes off for second. Here's the throw. What a throw. But safe is the call. Garcia somehow got around the tag. I'm not seeing any argument from the shortstop De La Cruz. The ball beat Garcia there, but somehow he gets the hand in safely. Wow. That is a huge play right there. Yeah, now the battery mates want to talk things over. Alex Garcia, an excellent base runner for the Goldpanners. Head coach Mark Lindsay goes to him whenever possible to run the bases. Pinal has had an excellent summer at the plate, and he's also 10 for his last 28. Two-way player for Fairbanks. And he's got a chance to tie this game here in the bottom of the ninth with 1 out and a runner at second base. Grounds one to first. That one doesn't take a crazy hop on Rodriguez, and he's able to get it to Hale, covering the bag in time. The play goes 3-1, and the Panthers are down to their final out. Garcia is at third base. And the last hope for Fairbanks is Caleb Milliken. Well, with a runner at third, a lot of things can happen. A wild pitch. Base hit would be nice. All comes down to Milliken here. 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning. Strike called right on that outside corner from Cameron Hale. Milliken is 0 for 3 today. A righty-lefty matchup. And he swings and fouls it back to the netting. It's 0-2. Panthers down to their last strike. Cameron Hale on the mound trying to get the save. Gold at third base with 2 outs and an 0-2 pitch coming to Milliken. Will he try to waste one here? Milliken grounds it right side. This one's trouble and unable to make the diving play as Morishige Garcia comes in to score, and we are tied here in the 9th inning. An RBI single for Caleb Milliken on an 0-2 pitch, and we are tied. Morishige did everything he could to try and get to that baseball. But Milliken singles in the tying run in the bottom of the 9th inning. And now Tate Shamau will bat. He's having a 1 for 3 day so far. Down low for a ball. Runner bluffs from first. Shamau the batter with Munoz on deck. My, oh my, the Panthers tie it up here in the 9th inning. Throw to first base, runner back safely. Tate Shamau, freshman to be at Southern Cal, with a ball and a strike and 2 outs and a runner at first base. The ball gets away from catcher DeForest, and over to second base goes Milliken. He's into scoring position now for Shamau, and the count goes to 2-1. And now the Studs' pulse starts to rise. The 2-1. Shamau off the fist, a little flare into shallow right, coming in and unable to make the catch is the right fielder Schuchart, and in to score is Milliken, and the Goldpanners win. Tate Shamau with the game-winning flare to shallow right. An unbelievable finish. The Goldpanners have done it again. They mob Shamau behind second base and celebrate a much-needed win here at UPS Field in Tacoma. Wow, what an ending. The Goldpanners come back in the bottom of the 9th to win it. And well-pitched game, too, here tonight. Nolan Meredith, 5 scoreless, gets the no decision in the start. Bryce Foster, 5 scoreless for the Studs. The win goes to Steven Vasquez, who, despite giving up 2 runs, pitched a strong game here for the Goldpanners when they needed it most. Vasquez gets the win, and taking the loss is Cameron Hale. The Studs led it 2-1 going to the bottom of the 9th, and with 2 outs, Caleb Milliken singles to tie the game. He goes to second on a wild pitch and then comes in to score on the bloop single down the right field line for Tate Shamau, whose jersey isn't on anymore. A celebration after the Panners defeat the Studs. They have taken 2 out of 3 from Seattle this year, and we'll see them one more time on Sunday at 1 p.m. But first, it's the Everett Merchants tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. For Alexis Friedman snapping photos and getting the broadcast on the air, I'm Garo Von Dane saying so long from UPS Field on a beautiful night here in Tacoma, Washington. The Goldpanners walk it off against the Seattle Studs by a final score of 3-2. Get some sleep, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow morning against the Merchants. Good night.